And we're live.
And we're live.
Good.
How about that?
Hey, everybody.
A lot of logistics going on in there.
A lot of logistics.
Scooch in, Kristen.
So,
Scooch in.
okay, well.
I'm good on this one, not on that one.
Yeah,
we're
we are.
broadcasting
We're good.
from 2 pages because we're brilliantly resilient.
Or something. I'm not sure. So for my page, for my people, I'm Robyn Graham, and I am here today to do a live coaching session for personal branding with Fran Bontempo, author,
Oh.
author, speaker. I'm not giving you that credit. Author, speaker, and humorist, and Kristen Smedley, who is, I don't know, she's got a title list that's like this long.
She's also an author.
But she's an author and a speaker.
She's brilliant.
This is me.
Is the word on the street. No.
And she's funny in her own right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
Just don't ask my kids.
Just ask her, she'll tell
My
you.
dogs think I'm really funny, but the kids don't. Whatever.
So anyway, why are we here today?
So we are here today because these two lovely women, who happen to be both clients and friends of mine, and co-hosts of Four Chicks Chatting podcast, are starting a new endeavor. And their new endeavor is Brilliantly Resilient, a tour of them speaking on the stage together. Now, if any of you have ever heard either of them speak individually, you know it's pretty dynamic. I have been really blessed, I think, to see both of them speak in front of live, huge audiences for TEDx talks. We won't mention numbers.
Hey now.
And for Kristen, actually in Nashville, Tennessee, for, what was the conference you spoke at?
Association for Clinical Research Professionals.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was like 1,000 people in the audience. So
Do you know that after that speech, they invited me to be on their board of trustees?
that's awesome.
Wow.
That was a cool
That's
speech.
cool.
That was a cool whole event.
Debbie Drell is watching. Hi, Debbie.
Hey, Debbie from NORD. I'm the Pennsylvania ambassador for the National Organization of Rare Disorders. I know you did 2 TED Talks, but guess what? And Debbie is with NORD. What up? Anyway,
Anyway,
enough
back
about
to
me.
Can anybody see the eye rolling?
Yeah.
Okay. So what
So
we're
there's a
doing
reason
is,
I'm the rose between 2 thorns right now. So
how
anyway.
this is going to work is beyond me, but
No.
it
So,
will.
It will, one way or another. We'll get you there. So the whole purpose of this call or this live video today is to kind of walk through what I do with my branding clients. And Fran had reached out to me, I don't know, a few weeks ago to introduce their idea to me, and we had a conversation, and she said, would you want to do this live, and we can kind of promote you, and you can help us with our branding for this project. So where we started was I asked them to give me their mission statement. I asked them to give me who their ideal audience was, and these were things we talked through behind the scenes. And so I'm going to have you guys tell everyone else, like, what is your mission? And then we'll just kind of talk through, like, the questions I would ask a branding client. And right now you guys are that branding client, so I'll be asking you.
Okay.
And then we'll just go from there.
Okay. So what I did when I spoke to Robyn about this, she sent a detailed email asking us for certain things. So what I'm just going to do is give you back what I sent her in return. So, and again, this is the beginning of this endeavor for us. Mm-hmm. So we're still tweaking. We're still in the process of figuring things out. But that's another reason that Robyn is here, to kind of help us refine this and move on in a way so that it's cohesive, works with both of our individual brands, which we already have, and just helps us to pull this together. So, mission statement. In their Brilliance and Resilience tour, Kristen and Fran share stories, strategies, and successes in surmounting challenges, giving audiences the tools to live empowered lives, both professionally and personally, thriving in the face of adversity and beyond. Boom. So
We need a theme song. Can we do that?
So, Kristen and I both have individual experiences with challenges that we did not expect in our lives, and we decided to come together and talk about how we surmounted them, but more important than just that, giving people the tools to not only to surmount them, but then after that. So that's where the brilliance part comes in, and that's got to play a part in this, because we learned things in those experiences that we then took beyond and took them to other parts of our life. So that's what we're trying to do, is
And
to
really
share
created a whole careers, journey, stuff we never planned on.
Yeah.
That's the brilliance. That's what we want to make the difference, the differentiator in, there's great stuff on resilience, and we'll talk about that. but not just the message in the mess, but how can you totally transform your life and go into a whole new career or whatever it is.
Yeah. How do you take out of that beyond whatever you learned in that experience? And you're going to learn a lot, whatever that experience is. How do you take that beyond?
Read the tagline we came up with, because that sums it up.
So actually, Robyn had a really great thought about the tagline. Where is it? I have to go back to it because I have it in here somewhere. Oh my goodness.
It's the life is hard. Join us to...
Yeah, but she came up with a good... Here we go. Here was Robyn's idea for our tagline.
Read yours first, and then...
Okay, I got to find it because that's not where it is.
It was reset.
Yeah, here it is. Life hits hard. Reset, rise, and reveal your brilliance.
Yes.
Now, Robyn suggested reset with resilience and reveal your brilliance.
Oh.
Which I like because it uses the two words that we're talking about, resilience and brilliance, and it cuts down on some of the extra stuff.
Yeah, because somebody else told us it was too long.
Too long.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Robyn came up with reset with resilience and reveal your brilliance.
I like it.
Which I like that. And then you have the 3 R's with that resilience and brilliance kind of, it's very poetic, I think. It just kind of flows.
So that's something to think about in branding.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's absolutely, words play a huge part. Now for me, with personal branding, visual content is so critically important. So we'll get to that because I think, definitely when we talked the first time, you were like, we were thinking we need to have headshots. And then I said, they need to have pictures together because this is a together endeavor. It's not one and then the other.
And let me add in here that it was your idea. Kristen and I originally thought we would speak separately on the stage, and Robyn said you have to be on the stage together.
Yeah, and here's why: because they are 2 individual brands, and they're coming together to form one collective brand. Now, this is going to be something that they're going to pursue ongoing. This isn't a one and done. This is something where they're going to build a brand and hopefully grow their platform to multi-city, who knows, maybe internationally at some point.
Of course.
We'll think big. But the idea was, if they are already 2 individual people, 2 individual brands, and people have heard them speak individually. So if they're starting on a local platform, then they're really going to just be able to reach the same people that have already heard them speak, and they're going to be like, I've already heard them. Why would I go to this? And why would I pay to go to this? So the idea is, if they do it collectively, it's a whole new spiel. It's a whole new presentation with whole new meaning.
Right.
And then an opportunity to reach a whole new audience.
Well, it's also a differentiator too, because when Mary Fran said that you said that, I'm like, it's another thing that makes us different than just, let's go to another morning retreat and hear speakers.
Right.
Yes.
And that's clearly key with branding. What differentiates you from the other people? I mean, let's face it, there are very few brand new ideas. Nobody's invented the next internet yet. So
you just have to make those ideas better than anybody else's that are out there. And there are other resilient speakers, or people who speak on resilience, and there are some locally as well. So I think it's really important for you to differentiate yourselves deliberately so that you can really stand out and create. Now, like, you can tap into your current audiences, but you're going to bring in a whole new collective audience
something
as
different,
well,
which is the whole point. To
exactly.
Okay, so we've already hit on 2 brands coming together, so we're talking about that. Change the tagline to make it smaller, and then differentiating. Awesome.
Differentiating.
All cool. The key elements. Okay, what else do we need to work on?
So let's talk about who your ideal audience is and how we
the
can reach
whole
your
universe.
We aim high here, folks.
Everyone.
See why we had to come here?
Gotta bring them in a little bit.
So again, what I said to Robyn
Monica
was,
tuned in. Hey, Monica.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, Monica. Working women or mothers facing personal or professional challenges, including problems with kids, balance, marriage, addiction, and work. Women who feel lost, frustrated, and overwhelmed by personal or professional issues. And then we also broke it down into a couple of different areas that we thought that the message could resonate with, and that would be in a corporate world, in a faith-based environment, and in the educational world, where perhaps it's not women who are necessarily, not even necessarily women, but young people need to hear about resilience and then finding your way through that too.
And the adults that work with them.
Right, yeah,
Our
and the
thing,
adults
too.
that work with them.
And we also talked about, see, there's so much. We also talked about the different parts of the journey. Like some people are still in the muck of becoming resilient. And this is like, the brilliance part is something that they can aspire to, but we have to get them through the muck. And other people are coming through, did the reset, and now, I almost just said the F word. Now what the heck do you do with that? So then how do you mesh all of that into one avatar, one person that you're talking to?
So you really, I'm not going to say you can't do it. It is somewhat challenging, but that's why you want to create a personal brand or a persona that can reach all of those. So you don't want to appear to maybe the stay-at-home mom who had just received a blind diagnosis of her child, or a mom who just found out their son is addicted to heroin. You don't want to appear too stuffy, too over the top to be able to reach them. They want to be able to relate to you. So you want to be able to have an image that is relatable for them. But you also want to be able to relate to corporate. So when, like what you have on right now, you could be, right now, you could be someone in corporate, you could be a therapist, you could be a doctor.
I need a therapist.
Everybody needs a therapist.
No comment from me. None.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You can reach multiple audiences with this outfit. If you were just in a straight up suit, buttoned up, staunchy, minimal jewelry and everything else, you're not going to have as much of an emotional connection with some of those people, like a stay-at-home mom. And there's nothing wrong with any level of where you're at in your life, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a working mom, you're a corporate executive, whatever that case may be. But you have a different perception of people depending on where you are in your life and and so you want to represent yourself. And like what Kristen has on, this could be worn for a corporate meeting, it could be worn for a presentation, it could be worn for a PTA meeting, it could be worn just going to a doctor's appointment with your child. So it's like you want to be...
So you want to be accessible and professional at the same time,
Exactly. And a lot of that color can do a lot for that.
Okay.
So colors
talk a little bit about that, because we're talking about, we both have brands and we both have colors in those
Exactly.
brands. Yeah.
So that's where I'm going to go with that.
So these are our colors, right, in our books?
Mary Fran's has more of a teal but orange, and Kristen's is blue. Kristen does use red a lot too. Like you have red for your presentations, you wear red a lot and things like that. But what I was thinking for them is, because they have the orange and blue, orange is a very happy passion color. It's trustworthy as well, just for the simple fact that it eludes passion and it draws people in, right?
Okay.
And then blue is a trustworthy color. It's a happy color. It's something that is traditional. So both of these colors are colors that people can relate to. Now, do you both have to have orange everywhere? No, not at all. Do you both have to have blue everywhere? No, not at all. The other thing is you both have black on here, and black is kind of a foundational color for both of your brands. On your websites, you have your fonts are black, your copy's black, things like that, right? And so black is a traditional color. It's also trustworthy. It's just classic and timeless. So you can't go wrong, and everybody can associate with black. And a lot of people wear black all the time. It's just that color
It seems
that
like it's grounding too.
it is grounding, exactly. And that's what I said, when you have this as your foundation, like the black, it's there as a foundation. So that combination and just adding a pop of color here and there is perfect.
Okay.
Because then you're making yourselves approachable, but yet you're keeping everything consistent. And by using these colors, like you already have a lot of orange in your closet, you already have a lot of blue in your closet, and you both have a lot of black in your closet. So it's not like you have to go out and reinvent the wheel for your wardrobe. And you don't have to have these colors all over everything, but just subtle hints of them periodically. Like you guys could be doing a live presentation and you could use like an orange backdrop, or you could use just an orange, you could wear an orange blouse, you could wear a blue blouse. One could be in black, one could be in blue, vice versa. With the orange. You could do something as simple as have, a vase of flowers that are orange sitting there, or maybe some blue hydrangeas just behind you. Like just little touches of
or
color.
Like a little uplighting somewhere with the color.
Yeah, exactly. Just something that just gives a little hint of your brand, but it doesn't scream at people that, because you
Not
want
all caps.
not all caps.
Again, see why we came here? Because
Not all caps.
I was writing to her in all caps, just like you're screaming at me.
Like you're screaming at me.
You're
It's
screaming
really
at
not
me.
Hey, look,
necessary.
Agnes tuned in. What's up, Agnes?
Hey, Agnes.
And Maria. And we have people from in our group from all over the
That's
country
really
right now.
great.
That's awesome.
How about that?
That's awesome. So, but no, seriously, you just want to keep it so it's subtle, but it makes you guys recognizable, and it keeps your platform aware, or no, that's not what I want to say. It keeps it consistent. So you're more clear, concise,
And brochures and
consistent.
stuff like that too?
Yes. So I would definitely have, and what you can do too, like if you guys are going to do website pages, because I know you're not going to create a website in its entirety right now, but you're going to have a page on your website. You're going to have a page on your website. So what I would suggest is you do the font in the copy in black, right? You could do. We're going to do pictures of you guys today, and we're going to do pictures of them together, so that all their marketing materials will have them together as their brand. So it won't be a headshot of Kristen here and a headshot of Mary Fran here. It's going to be them together. So you could do even the banner with your picture, or just a picture to the side, however you want to place it. But your website pages should be consistent. They should be the same.
Same thing.
So that no matter if they land on Kristen's website or your website, they know it's the same thing. It's the same content. It's the same presentation. It's the same message that they're going to hear.
Okay.
So that needs to be consistent across both of your platforms. And then those colors you can use, like your headers could be blue, and your hyperlinks could be orange.
Okay.
You could do a list of your venues in blue with your headers in orange. You can mix those colors up, but you want it to be consistent on both of your pages.
Okay.
So like if you do a button like register here, and you place a button on the screen, make that orange so that it stands out.
Okay.
And then make your headers blue, and then your hyperlinks orange. That's what I would do, just to kind of mix it up. And you can if you look at my website, you can kind of see how I've done that. Like all of the hyperlinks on my website are orange, all of my headers are teal, and then my font's all black.
And your website is?
Oh, RobynGrahamPhotography.com.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We're
anyway.
taking notes
She's
here,
like,
which is why I'm looking
terrific.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
No,
Like,
what's the
and
word?
And your point is?
And my point is, what's your website? Tell people your website.
My website is RobynGrahamPhotography.com. But anyway, so you get kind of the idea of the colors and how you can use them so that you have a consistent appearance across everything that you do. Even if you went live on Instagram together on one of your pages, like as long as you have that consistency of the two of you together with your your brand colors somewhere in that mix, it just gives people that visual that, oh my gosh, I recognize them from wherever they saw you.
Right.
So we should spend a lot of time together.
Oh, dear God.
Well, no. Maybe not.
See what I hear? See the notes I take?
My notes are go home and take a 3-hour nap. That's my notes. Okay, so we talked about our mission statement, we talked about our avatar, we talked about the colors and whatnot in the branding. What else? We have...
Here's my biggest question. Because, you know how you always talk about it's the brand is how people feel when they hear you, your name? So here's the tricky part. We are goofy and fun, and Mary Fran's a humorist, for heaven's sake. I happen to be funnier, but she's a humorist, whatever. So we have this fun thing, but we have really freaking hard topics that we're talking about, and holding people's hands, and then being professional to have them create a whole new journey. So how does that come into this? How do we present ourselves in all of this stuff? That the feeling is, what is the feeling that we want people to have?
So there's a couple of things. So when we talked about the color, that happiness of the orange and the trustworthiness of the blue and just the liveliness of the blue, those two things are going to help give those feelings, right? The colors are going to give those feelings.
Trust and liveliness, I love that.
The colors are going to help give those feelings. And then you've also got to remember, you've got copy to use. And you're both writers. I know you're kind of accidentally a writer, but
I'm not saying
I'm a writer edited by her.
Yeah, you're an English major.
She
whatever.
writes and I fix it. No, I'm only kidding. That's not true.
You have
It is true.
you have the ability to create powerful copy. And yes, for me, visual content is so important. But the other component to that is your written copy. And so you want to make sure that, you know, you're talking about very heavy things, communicating that in your copy with a dose of humor. You know, like it's not, and I think that everyone needs a dose of humor in life when they're dealing with these horrendous challenges that you guys have dealt with and have overcome and been resilient through, and now sharing your brilliance from, right? Those experiences. So include those things in your copy as well. And I know you have this Facebook group, so make sure you take advantage of that too. And when you're doing videos, show your personality, because people, the more people that see it and start to feel it, are going to then share it. And that's what you want to be. You want to be memorable and you want to be shareable.
Okay,
so
that's good. Two things to keep in mind.
You want to be memorable and shareable. Okay. First and foremost, recognizable, and then memorable and shareable.
So I think that our whole, from everything that you just said, our feeling that we want to put out there from all of this stuff is trustworthy, liveliness, heavy with a dose of humor.
Mm-hmm. Not heavy with a dose of humor, but with a heavy dose of humor.
With a dose of humor.
Because neither one of you are heavy.
I guess the topics are heavy.
Well, yeah,
but the topics
I don't
are
know
heavy.
that we need to. I don't know that we need to really pound that out, because I think the minute people hear our stories, I think they know that. So I mean, I think there's.
I mean, in terms of like when we have to do all the copy on the web page and in the brochure, that they understand that we understand it's heavy topics.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
And you can,
but
you
we
can
do it
say,
in a way of making it lighter.
We're not going to beat you down with it. We're going to take the heavy topic but lift you up somehow.
But you don't make light of the experiences they're going through either.
Right.
So I think that in your copy, you just need to express that understanding of the journey from the difficult situation through that point where you decide you can become resilient or you can overcome it, and then the point where you can now do something with those experiences and share your brilliance by helping others, just like what you're doing.
You know what would be cool if we had, because this even though this is live now, it's going to sit on the page. It would be cool if the folks, because we only invited a handful of people to the community to help us launch this and be a part of the launch, if maybe they could give feedback of some sort of what, when they were in, because I'm watching the folks that are watching, I know they've been through some heavy crap, and some in the muck of it right now. What are some concepts or things that were helpful that can help us with this copy in terms of what, you know, heavy versus lighten up, and how much humor was helpful, too much, like that kind of thing. Maybe they can help brainstorm.
Yeah, I think it's going to be important to find that balance. But by the same token, pardon me, I think that's something that we kind of came to naturally in our own journeys. Like there just comes a point at which you have to, whether it's dark humor or whatever, where you just have to go towards the light in the middle of it. And even if you're taking 15 minutes, you know, and watching cat videos or something like that, you find a way to invest some humor into that experience. But I think you're right. We have to be able to strike that balance.
You know, it's funny. I'm looking at that. Maria Johnson's on here, and she's a woman that lost her vision, and she's hilarious. And sorry, I'm calling you out on this, Maria. She has a blog that does that. It's funny, but it's serious. Maybe I should start rereading a lot of her blogs, because she does it in a perfect balance of a way. Yeah. I guess that's what we have to do is balance it.
Find the balance.
Well, and I think the key, and this is one of the key components for personal branding, is being authentic. And, you know, you are both very bright, you're both very talented, and you both have these journeys that you've been through that you can now share with other people to help them. So I think if you do that from the heart and showing your authentic personalities, it's going to come natural. Like, I don't think it's something that either one of you have to necessarily stress over. I think that it's going to flow. Now, it gets a little bit tricky because you don't want to be, you know, appear to be like dumb humor or something like that when you're trying to reach a corporate audience and you want to go in and do like an executive team building event or something like that. But yeah, you know what I mean? You have to always have. And even though, you know, it really doesn't matter, because even when I was home with my kids, those few short years that I stayed home and didn't work, I still wanted to connect with professional people. Like, I still wanted, if I was getting advice for someone, I wanted it to be professional and smart. I didn't want it to be like, ha 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 ha.
Right.
You know, like.
So not silly, just light.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I think you have, because there is a fine line. You don't want to turn off those people that are, you know, total corporate, total
Right.
brainiacs or whatever, and I'm using all these terms and to describe different populations, and there's no judgment whatsoever by whoever is wherever they are in their life. I mean, we all have different walks of life, we're all in different places, but I think you have to have content and strategy that reaches everybody.
You have to read the room. You have to read the room and read your audience and appreciate where they are in their journey, and then because I do try to do that when I speak. I talk about my experience, and then I say, now here's how I think this would be applicable to you. So that it always has to reflect the audience's needs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you do it, be just authentic, or just be authentic. Don't try to be this for this group and this for this group. I think if you just be yourselves, and I mean, when you're presenting, like when you presented at that meeting in Nashville, you were extremely professional. You added humor into the presentation. Yeah. Because there were humorous situations in your life. I mean,
mine.
Yeah,
laugh or you cry. The only thing I did was I did tweak. Like I'll add, if it's a faith-based group, I'll add one more. I'll change out stories. One that's more faith-based. Like I go way longer in the moment of surrender for a faith-based group than I do for that corporate group.
Yeah.
Right.
That was more my rare disease journey. So I do tweak the stories a little bit, but it's the same.
But even in that audience, the scientific audience, you still mentioned your faith.
Yeah.
In that presentation.
I gave that one little thing.
That is a foundation for both of you.
It is. Right.
So I think it's not something that you disregard completely, and you're not up there screaming, at them that they should believe what you're believing. You're saying this was a tool that you used.
Right.
So maybe this tool that faith could help someone else too, no matter where they are, no matter on their faith journey, and no matter what faith they have or what they believe in. It's just a concrete part of who you are. So it's not something you have to eliminate, but obviously, depending on the audience, you're not going to go in and scream Christianity in a corporate setting.
Right.
Because that's just, you can't.
Well, again, I think it comes back to that word authenticity, because it's part of our experience, and each part of that experience can have some relevance to an audience, but you're going to emphasize different parts of it depending on to whom you're speaking, because that's also the mindset they're bringing to it.
Right.
So you have to be able to communicate with them with their mindset in mind, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So can I back up to the content and colors for a second? I just had something pop in my head because I'm doing the post in the community on Facebook and gearing up because we're going to launch all the content on Facebook in January. Like the header and stuff on the Facebook page and all of the different posts and everything, should that all still follow our color and feel?
Yes, 100%. 100%. Because then you become more recognizable. So the first thing I would say is, which we're going to have to cut this off relatively soon if we want to get pictures done, but your header should be a picture of the two of you.
Right.
Like 100%. Maybe the little circle picture could be a picture of both of your books side by side or something like that. But just something so that it connects it all, like who you each are individual, but who you are together. And then, you use Canva, right? Mm-hmm. Once you choose your colors, or, I could give you some different hex codes for colors that you could use too. Or if you know your hex codes from your cover, because we pulled those when we did your cover, and I'm sure you have the hex code for your blue. So create Canva graphics, and then just plug all your information into that.
Okay.
Canva graphics. Okay.
Canva, yeah.
Canva.com.
Right. Yeah. Canva, right. Yeah, I use Canva a lot too.
And this is another tip for your brochures to help you with cost containment is Visby is a great tool online, and it is free. Like the more you want to do with it, you have to end up paying for the services or whatever, but you can create quite a few things in there, and you can do custom colors, custom fonts, you can do all of that in Visby. So you could create your brochures and things there.
Okay.
And your graphics as well.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. So let's kind of sum this up. So the things that we needed to talk about were a mission statement, which you have to you take this because tell us
your mission statement / byline or tagline, whichever you want to refer to it as. And then we talked about your ideal audience and how to reach them and how to be authentic when reaching them and staying consistent with your messaging. And that is going to be through visual content as well as your copy. And then we talked about your colors. Again, that helps with the consistency and the recognizability of your brand. As a collective, we talked about the two of you coming together to talk versus individually, so that you're
differentiating. What's differentiating you from everybody else?
Exactly. You're differentiating yourself from anybody else who's speaking on resilience and brilliance. And then what else? We talked about the tools that you can use to create the graphics for your Facebook
and
website,
the whole
and the emotions,
the
emotions,
right.
That's the word.
and reaching, being able to, grab that emotion from the people so that they want to hear more from you. They feel a connection with you.
Great.
Awesome. This was great.
It was great. So I hope
Every
that
time we have work to do, we should just come here and have Robyn kind of do it for us.
Oh, I'm sure she would
On
love
camera.
that. She would love that. But this was, I hope that people listening in learn something about branding and about, how to proceed with this, because it really is important in setting these kinds of things up that you think about all that stuff, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So before, at least for my people on my Facebook page that we're live on, tell them where they can find you guys if they want more information on what you're doing and when your events are going to begin happening and the tour kicks off and all of that.
You.
So I'm at KristenSmedley.com. Kristen with 2 eyes. Ta-da!
Oh, good God.
That's where you can find me. If you want to talk to that one.
I'm at MaryFranBontempo.com. But our combined effort at this point, the only place that you can see that at the moment is
Brilliantly Resilient.
Brilliantly Resilient.
It's a private community on Facebook, so you do have to send a message asking to be invited. But if you saw this here through Robyn's site, then of course, we'll allow you in. It's
people
tight.
are their people.
It's very tight for now because we want to really serve this community well and do it well. So we're just doing these initial launches. And the funny thing is, we're going to leave this on here because we are encouraging folks to find their brilliance and then go do something with that. And this is step number 1 in doing that. So so send a message to Brilliant.
And we are going
Resilient.
to have something coming up in March. I don't know if we're laying that out there yet, but we have something coming up.
Save the date.
Yeah, save the date, March 7th.
In Bucks County.
So at any rate, thanks for joining us today, and keep on keeping on with all of this, because we want to take you along on the journey. And Kristen and I really believe that the best way to make something positive out of the experiences that we had, which were not so great initially but turned out to be good things, is to share that and to help other people. Yeah. So we want to help
Rise
you.
together.
Yeah, we want to help you be brilliantly resilient. And what was that tagline you told me? It was
Reset with resilience and reveal your brilliance.
There you go. That's it. Reset with brilliance and sorry.
Reset with
resilience
and the greatest work
I'll get it.
ever.
I'll get it.
We may have to do this again for Mary Fran.
I'll get it. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks
for tuning
joining
in,
us.
everybody.
Look
Bye.
how they get our faces.